collaborating for the education of our students at Western High School. From Drushal Fabricating, Jeff Drushal. From Western High School Visual Arts Instructor, Dana Van Summeren. And art class student, Adia Neal. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, great to have you all here together, and glad to hear about your collaboration. You're collaborating in a lot of things, it turns out. I ran into Dana at the ETA.
Yeah.
Experiment, what was it called? Experiment?
Yeah.
No, emerging technology.
Emerging
Emerging technologies in art. And you were there, what were you doing?
So I was there with my advanced art class, which AD is a part of, and we were using Sphero bolts, checked out through our local ISD. And we got to do some hands-off artwork. And Bart, you picked out your favorite color.
There it is. Now this is not my art.
No, this one is not.
But
yours was in the process.
So it's just balls coated with paint that flying around this piece of craft paper.
That's right.
It's really cool, and I think just the way it was done, you really had a lot of people that were checking out.
It was fun community art, and the students really liked to help promote that too, to get people excited.
So Jeff, I understand you went back to school, Western High School.
Yep.
This time, and you were there last week. What was the project you were working on?
So, Dana and I actually kind of got hooked up by my daughter, so Dana approached me about doing a project with the students, and we kind of brainstormed and came up with the idea that I would just show up to Western with a trailer full of fabrication equipment, and we would do a few-day class on learning, basically kind of the fundamentals to shape metal and to weld metal together. And so Dana brought a sample of kind of what we were working on. It's we did the structure for the armature of what they're designing in their art class. So we basically set up and taught them as fast as we could and as best as we could with the time we had and the tools that we brought with us.
Awesome. Well, that's pretty cool, reaching out to the community and bringing in craftspeople and artists. It seems like with those things with the robot balls painting and Jeff's fabrication company, that's not a typical way that school art is taught.
That's true. I do like to bring a lot of local artists in. We had Clay McAndrews come last year after Bright Walls, and he's also a Western alumni, and so he gave a nice talk where all my art classes could go and ask him questions and to see kind of how his career has gone, just to get my students, a little bit more, experience with people who are out in the real world doing it.
Adia, how does this make art class more interesting or rewarding for the students?
Yeah, it's super unique to have different types of materials to play with and kind of just see all the different aspects that are available in art. So I guess just seeing all of the different ways is really eye-opening to.
Now in high school, art is a class that it's maybe an elective or something that people are just doing to fill an hour, but you both are artists. And how about you? Are there students, Idiot, are you interested in pursuing a career in art?
Yes, I've definitely thought about it. I do my fair share of painting and other types of art, sculpture and stuff that we do in class as well. It's definitely something I'm considering, for sure. Yeah.
Cool. Do you have other students that this might be a path?
Yep, definitely. And it's wonderful to see kind of their growth. I have a couple students too from my digital photography class last year that got a scholarship for their stuff, so they're pursuing that field right now.
It's got to be exciting for you to help get students on that path.
Yeah.
Now you guys brought like school, you brought some show and tell, and you brought some photos, so let's take a look. Tell us about the pictures you brought.
So this is one of my guys I brought with me, Rusty. He's working with another student on welding the structure together after we'd already formed it. Basically, each student took a picture and kind of, basically made a drawing of what they wanted to create. and then we helped them form all the metal to do that, and then we worked with them on welding it together.
That's serious. I mean, welding.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can't just pick up a torch and go.
Correct.
go to town.
Yeah. Yep. It's it's definitely a unique skill. I believe everybody has it. It's just the opportunity to let yourself learn it, or to be able to learn it.
Yeah.
Well, these are workstations you set up outside?
Yep.
Yeah.
So Jeff came on his flatbed and brought all the equipment and set up so we could just walk outside. So students, when they were doing their drawings, were looking at kind of movement and proportion, and between Jeff, Mandy, and Rusty, they were able to decipher and talk to the students to say, okay, you want it at this level, how do you want it moved? And I really appreciated the way that Jeff explained things to the students too, to say, and for me, myself learning too from him, most of the stuff that we did prior to is all fabricating, and the welding only takes a couple minutes.
So what did you do? What is that material? It looks like rebar.
It's actually like a hot rolled
got
steel. Sorry, I didn't mean to
No,
cut you
you
off.
know better.
But
Yeah.
it's just basically a bar stock that we purchased from
Oh.
Melrose Steel. So it's a hot rolled steel. It's like a common material. The bases are another steel that we laser cut before we came to class.
And here's the,
It's a work in progress.
Yes.
there's more to
This one's
come?
mine.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What are the materials, Adia, on this? Underneath the body is what?
The steel, yeah.
The steel.
Yeah, the steel, and then we use tinfoil to build up the body and really get the general shape of what we wanted. And then this is just clay that we use to.
Yep, Sculpey. So we will bake it. It's pliable now, but we'll bake it and cure it, and then there's a bronze paint we're going to use, and then a blue patina to go on top to age it.
So is that like tinfoil? That's,
Yeah.
and once it's all done, it's going to be all one bronze.
Correct. It's our cheap way to do a bronze
And
in high school.
it'll look like cast bronze.
Yeah, it'll have that effect.
And you brought some things too, Jeff.
Yeah, I just received this here. I mean, when you do things, you don't always expect a thank you, but this, was probably the most rewarding part of doing the class and taking the time. I'll take it and I'll hang it up in our shop for, all our employees to see. But, I thought it was very creative, how they basically drew what we created and a welder. So I thought it was really neat. So I brought it out here with me to share, it's a thank you back to you guys for the thank you.
That's neat. I mean, it's kind of funny. It's stick figures.
Yeah.
And when you start with someone who doesn't have any art talent, they say they can't even make a stick figure.
Right.
Well, this is a stick figure that it doesn't look that easy to make.
Yeah.
How do you with that bar stock? It's just one long straight. So you heat it and bend it.
Yeah, so first what we did was we cut the different proportion lengths in order to get the legs would be one, the body, and then we bent the joints where we wanted them to be bent and did the circle for the head, and then we welded it together.
You're teaching science too,
Yep.
right?
Yeah. I mean, metallurgy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because what's happening? What's the process?
Well, so there was a few different processes we did. We did more of a hand style where we used a tool, and then we used the heat to bend them also. That way everybody kind of understood how you can bend metal and shape metal in different ways. But the science behind it is using a torch to heat a metal to a certain degree to allow it to be pliable. Same thing with welding. We showed them how to weld, where you basically liquefy metal to fuse it together to make it one solid piece.
Did you think that this was going to be easy?
I wasn't sure what to expect. I was like, we're doing this welding thing, all right, I'm going with it. But it was difficult, but in a good way. Yeah.
Are there any Career Center has a welding
Yep.
program? Do you have any students that are welders that are in the art?
Currently, not that I know of. Yeah,
Is the
but there
program
might be soon.
so the program I bet is very very popular when you're doing all these cool things with the robots and welding and all these different materials.
Yeah, advanced art is one of those I want to kind of elevate to do different types of art that they might not have gotten in basic or digital or sculpture.
I think you started more as just a manufacturing type fabricator,
Yep.
but it's really evolved, Jeff, because you have works of art and pieces all over everywhere.
Yeah.
Is that kind of has it taken over?
Yes and no. So, like I said, I got into for the manufacturing portion, and I took art in high school and always enjoyed art. Well, my mom opened up a restaurant, and she was like, "Hey, make me a fish. Hey, make me this, make me that," which then made me understand that, okay, I really like making artwork and doing artwork. And even just as a fabricator, we have to look at a blueprint and understand the blueprint, figure out how to build a 3D model. So I think naturally, like, us fabricators are artists anyways, and that kind of really, drove me into creating more artwork and doing stuff. And then, so at nighttime I bought a welder and I would do artwork in my garage. I would go to art shows and sell my artwork and try to, buy more equipment and buy more tools and buy more materials. I would go to Holland and Saugatuck and sell stuff there, which helped fund my passion for, the trades and for art and fund eventually having a business. My goal was when I started my business that, to do a lot of the sculptures and stuff I wanted to do, you'd have to have thousands of dollars of equipment. Well, it's hard to fund, your shop off of art. So, I kind of tied the two together, doing artwork and doing, the manufacturing side of stuff.
Awesome.
So.
So the fish on the wall at Bone Island Grill, those are your creations?
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I've seen you have to do a lot of work. You're at art shows, you set up tables and sell your works.
That's right,
Yeah.
the Jackson Art Walk, yeah.
And so what's next for you? Are you a senior?
I am, yes.
What are you planning for after you graduate from Western?
It's a good question. I've been looking at a variety of different colleges, but I have sold my little prints at the coffee shop I work at, so I've already got a little bit of that experience
She's
too.
talented.
So.
Cool. Well, it's really cool what you guys have teamed up to do for the kids. Thanks for coming in today.
Yeah.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for having us.
Thank you.
From Drushal Fabricating, Jeff Drushal, visual arts instructor at Western, Dana Van Summeren, and Adia Neal, art class student and senior at Western High. Stay tuned.